Welcome to a new video here on the Giant Take YouTube channel. I am Josh and I am joined by my friend, my co-host, Alex. We are here for day 8 training camp, Giants training camp recap. But for us, it's really day 1 of the Giant Take, being in the presence of Giants training camp at Quest Diagnostic Center. The both of us. I was there for back together Saturday, which was day 4, I believe, and Giants Fan Fest on Friday, which maybe we could have done a video about it, but really wasn't that big of a deal. But finally, the two of us together at training camp today. Alex, how are you doing? Your experience, your thoughts on the experience, I guess I should say.
I
What do you
mean,
think?
it was a load of fun. I would say today was kind of a bit of a boring day. You said that yourself, a lot of running, a lot of run drills, a lot of, running reps in the 11 on 11s. But certainly some interesting things happened. We'll talk about that in a minute, but certainly enjoyed my first day and excited to go back for a couple more.
Yes, it definitely sucks in the way that today was boring. It really was. There wasn't really a lot of things that happened, not really big plays, and that was because in the majority of today's practice was running. Running in the having the QB under center and the running back behind them, or running where they were lined up in the pocket the QB was, and then the running back was to their left or to their right. But not really passing. If there was passing, it was more play action, where the QB was scrambling out to the left, to the right. We saw that a couple times with Daniel Jones and Tyrod Taylor, not really much with Davis Webb. But yeah, it really was a run heavy day. So we'll still get you the reports of what happened today. And let's start out with what we have. And that's Robert Foster was wearing a red non contact jersey, which obviously means there was some type of injury you would think that happened there. And he wasn't playing on during the 11 on 11 drills for that reason, I assume, of non contact, because what they do is basically touch, like two hand touch really stops the play. And with him being out with the non contact red jersey, it's kind of hard to do that. So that was something to note there. You also have Andre Miller at fullback in the team drills, and I know Alex is going to want to talk a little bit more about him and Jeremiah Hall, so I'll give him the floor to do so.
Yeah, I mean, today was certainly interesting if you're a fan of the fullback position. Not that I am, but I'm kind of a fan of it. I don't know. It's kind of exciting. But Brian Daboll has stated that he wants a fullback on this roster. The natural option is Jeremiah Hall, tight end slash fullback out of Maryland. But Andre Miller, wide receiver, converted to tight end, converted to halfback, H-back, fullback, possibly now, is also in competition, it seems. So it seems like those two are going to be in contention for that spot, with Andre Miller getting a ton of reps today and looking pretty good throughout. Had a couple of nice blocks in the run game. So certainly interesting to see how that camp battle goes down. I know not one that's talked about a lot, but certainly one that I noticed today when we were at camp.
Yeah, and going on to the next thing we have here, John Feliciano starts at center for the first team. Again, still a question mark with his whatever happened with the. I mean, I guess we know it was exhaustion, dehydration issues, which caused him to miss 3 practices, 4 days, a week ago now, right? So he's back, and it seems like he's good to go. And starting with the first team as the center there, and then we look past that point. I think it was Jameel Douglas who was starting at center with the second and third team. I want to say, I don't remember
Yeah.
specifically. I know Jameel Douglas definitely started with the third team as the center. I don't know about the second team, but he might have done both. And then we had Bellinger was playing a bunch of reps with the first and second team. More of the same for him. Again, it seems like this tight end position is the most not weird, but I think the most interesting when it comes to how that roster it's going to look for them at the end of the day. Is it going to be 3 guys? Yes. Is Daniel Bellinger going to be on there? Yes. Past that point, it's all question marks. Ricky Seals Jones, kind of nowhere to be found. The most I think I've heard, and this time we were there, so seen out of Jordan Akins. He was there for the second team, getting throws from Tyrod Taylor, got a touchdown in training camp today. Besides that, didn't
And
really
then had a terrible drop about 2 plays later.
correct right in his hands, and he dropped it. Dropped and the ball into the ground. before that, we didn't really see much or hear much about Jordan Akins. It seemed like he wasn't even participating in 11 on 11 drills. So I don't know. I really am interested if it's going to be Chris Myrick. Is it going to be Austin Allen? Who's going to be, or is it going to be one of those fullbacks that slots in and technically counts as a tight end and it's only like Bellinger and Akins, and then the third guy is really just a fullback that they just said tight end and when the roster comes out. So I don't know. It's a big question mark.
Yeah, I certainly wouldn't be surprised. I know a lot of people are saying one or the other, but it could be a scenario where Andre Miller and Jeremiah Hall make the roster. I think that's certainly possible with their position flexibility, especially Andre Miller. So I think that's something to look out for when the 53-man roster comes out. Brian Daboll, in his pre-training camp press conference today, said that the Giants were going to do a lot of cardio, a lot of running after each run play, running sprints down each field, down the field, but didn't really happen today. They did a lot of running, but not as much as Daboll made it seem like in his press conference. So that's something to note as well. And going back to the offensive line, Ben Bredesen was running with the 2s and 3s today, a lot more with the 2s due to the injury to Marcus McKeithen. Very unfortunate injury that he had at FanFest, and hope he gets better and recovers quickly. But Ben Bredesen, it looks like, is getting his shot here with a lack of depth on the offensive line, not just the tackle, but now at guard with a couple of injuries here that we've had so far in camp. So Ben Bredesen could possibly get his chance. Was traded for a 4th and a 6th round pick by Dave Gettleman. Is he going to be worth the value? We'll have to wait and see how he progresses. Obviously, still a reasonably young offensive lineman with some upside. So exciting to see there.
Yeah, and Marcus McKeithen, as much as we want him to recover quickly, an ACL tear, it does not recover quickly. He will. I'm going to say 100% be out for the rest of the season. That's really a
Yeah.
year-long recovery injury there. So it really opens a spot for someone to take. Ben Bredesen could be that guy. Maybe the Giants make a signing again when the 90-man roster cuts happen for other teams and they find a diamond in the rough. But we'll have to wait and see. But right now, it looks like you mentioned it, Alex. Bredesen taking the place of Marcus McKeithen. Next up here, I believe Jones only had like three throws today in total. He ran a little bit. He had a fake handoff to his right, which then it's a read option in Madden. If you play Madden, it's a read option play where you fake the handoff to your right, which then the running back keeps running. And then like if you see my fingers here, the running back keeps going, which leaves the side open for Jones to go right, which is exactly what he did. So that was a play that him and Daboll, or that he went through, that I guess Daboll or Mike Kafka came up with, just a simple read option. So we had that one. I think it's called read option, right? I don't remember for sure. Whatever. I know I've done the play in Madden, so that's all I know, which I guess it helps sometimes, right? And then each team sprinting down the field, like Alex mentioned, really it was just like first team would run a set of, downs 1 through 4, sprint to the opposite side of the field, do downs 1 through 4. Okay, second team, same thing. Not really as much, like we're not used to that because I guess we're used to Joe Judge. When we hear sprinting and running, we're thinking like guys getting tired from doing all of that, and we didn't really see that at all. And then, Alex, I guess I can throw it to you to talk about your favorite, Darius Slayton, although I am wearing, if you couldn't tell already, the jersey here, which was yeah. We were thinking I was going to get a lot of comments on the jersey, although there were some others that we saw that were wearing it, so not that bad.
Yeah, I was shocked. He was not the only person wearing a Darius Slayton jersey. So that was funny. But Darius Slayton actually got promoted, I guess you can say. And he was running with the 2s instead of the 3s. Looked good with Tyrod Taylor last week. And I think that's hopefully going to continue if he continues running with the 2s with Tyrod Taylor. I've said Tyrod Taylor and with the 2s about 30 times now. But hopefully he can make a comeback after all the hate he's been getting.
Yeah, so with that being said, the final thing here, which I don't think we have written down, was Evan Neal. We thought he looked slow off the run or like off the snap. Didn't really get in position well. And then you look on the opposite side of that offensive line, and you saw a guy like Andrew Thomas, excuse me, who was really jumping on the line and playing well. We also saw Josh Azudu as well, playing good at left guard. Besides that, I think we really covered everything, Alex. Like again, there wasn't really much today practice was 10 to 11:30, kind of the hard cutoff at 11:30. Some guys stayed. And Jones and Davis Webb were throwing a little bit after. The cornerbacks were actually doing some sprints or more jogs down the field back and forth. Micah McFadden and who was the other guy that was with him? I don't remember.
Beavers.
Was it Darian Beavers? McFadden and Beavers were on the side with a coach doing some drills with what are those called too? I don't even know. Like
Um uh
the press, like
yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
those like five things with the like line. It's supposed to simulate an offensive line. But anyway,
Yeah.
they did those. Um, we should really know what those are called. We'll figure it out after the video. But anyway, I guess what I'll just say right now is continue following us on our social medias. I mean, they'll be linked in the description, but definitely the Giant Take Pod on Twitter and TikTok. Here on YouTube, I've been posting a couple of YouTube shorts during the practice, so you can definitely check those out. I know a lot of people like seeing those because it's kind of quick and a couple seconds, and you get the gist. So there's that. We're going to be going to training camp again tomorrow on Monday and again on Tuesday. So a couple more days that you get from us. And yeah, we're going to keep the content going. The